What's up guys, Visual here, but you can call me James, and in this video I'm going to be going through the 3 secret ways to get more clients as a graphic designer. So guys, I've had this particular video requested to me so many times recently, whether it be through YouTube comments or Twitter direct messages. I have actually created 2 videos similar to this in the past, however both of them are old and very outdated, so I thought that an updated video was certainly necessary. So I'm sure if you're watching this video, you are a graphic designer yourself and you're looking to hopefully receive more clients. Now if you follow all of the tips that I do provide in this video, you will certainly be able to gain more clients and also gain them very consistently. So before I go ahead and get started, I would just like to mention, if the video does go on to help you, then please be sure to leave a like. That would be much appreciated. As well as this, if you are new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe with post notifications on. I'm on the road to 50,000 subscribers, so all help is appreciated. Obviously, we all know that more clients will result in an increase in income for your graphic design business, which is certainly necessary because we can't all feed ourselves off exposure. That's also a small additional tip in itself. Do not do free work. There's no explanation needed for this. Literally just don't do free work, full stop. The tips that I will be going through during this video are incredibly simple and easy to follow, however they will take some time. I see so many people to this day looking for some sort of like really magical tip that will gain you clients overnight, and it doesn't work like that. On the other hand, if you do go ahead and follow the steps religiously in this video, then you will see an increase in clients, and I can promise you that. With all of that being said, let's get started with the 3 secret ways to get more clients as a graphic designer. Okay, so starting things off with the first tip here, we have build an active social media presence. Of course, this tip is a lot easier said than done, and this is why I'm going to go a little bit further into detail regarding this. Social media is obviously going to be one of the main forms of contact between you and your potential clients. Of course, there needs to be a way that these potential clients actually stumble across your work in the first place, and this can be done by actually building an active social media presence. One way you can do this is by ensuring you're using multiple social media platforms. Don't just stick to say Twitter specifically, which I see a lot of people do. Branch out to other social medias such as Instagram and even YouTube, for example. YouTube specifically is a great place to actually upload your work, so whether that be, I don't know, a design speed art or a design tutorial. Once you go ahead and begin to grow on one social media, so say for example that is YouTube, then you can promote your other social medias at the same time, and you will of course see an increase in following on your Twitter. This is a personal tip that I have followed specifically, and it's worked wonders for me. As many of you may know, I began to grow a social media presence on YouTube, uploading tutorials, tip videos and so forth. Due to this, a large amount of the YouTube community actually know me and my designs, and therefore I'm receiving more clients. However, if I did stick to just one social media, for example Twitter, which is what I did used to do, then I'm basically limiting the amount of people that can see my work and overall reducing the amount of potential clients. Another way you can actually increase your social media presence is by working alongside clients with a large following. I have a great example of this, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. So last year I started to design for a YouTuber called JMX. Originally I made a YouTube banner for him only because I had a great idea and I thought it would be some good practice, so I went ahead, I designed him a YouTube banner and I posted it on Twitter. Because of my social media presence that I had built up, he was able to see that work, and then he contacted me regarding some thumbnails. Moving on, I was able to create a lot of thumbnails for JMX. I believe I was designing for him for around about a year, and I was also given other work at the time, so work that was regarding his business and also other things. Also, because I did work for Joel JMX, I was introduced to a lot of new clients as they were friends of him, and of course this basically increased my client base even more. This is just a prime example of how I was able to gain more clients working alongside someone with a large following. It's also important to stay active once you do begin gaining a social media presence, as that's basically how you will keep your audience active and constantly engaging in your work. Moving on to the second tip of the video, we have maintaining a strong portfolio. Now, the majority of potential clients are going to want to see some of your recent work, and sending over them some sort of Twitter link or I don't know, even just a picture of your recent work isn't going to look professional at all. Therefore, you need to make sure you have some sort of professional website or portfolio set up. If you would like to go the website website route, then I personally recommend using either, I'm going to say, Wix or bookmark.com. I've had personal business experience with both of these sites, and as well as that, I've also had personal experience using their website builders to create a site, of course, and I can definitely recommend both of them. I will go ahead and leave a link to anything that I do mention in the description down below. So say for example those websites, I'll also leave a link to my personal website if you would like to use that as some sort of an example, or maybe even just as potential inspiration. However, moving on from websites, if you don't want the hassle and also cost of creating a website, then I would certainly say that using something as simple as Behance is definitely going to be very effective. Regardless, once you have finished creating your portfolio, you need to ensure that you only post your best work on there. Your portfolio is going to be your first impression to these potential clients, and having your like COD Clan AVIs on there really isn't going to be a good look. So yes, make sure you are only uploading work that's at a standard you are personally happy with. Another point would be to have a variety of designs on there. Don't just stick to like solely YouTube banners, for example, because if any potential client does look at your portfolio and they're looking for, say for example, a Twitter header and they don't see any examples on your portfolio, then they're more than likely not going to commission you. Moving on to the final tip, this is very important as it will actually ensure you can receive more clients in the future, and you can also receive some more repeated clients, which is very important. This tip is going to be perfect your client work. Now by this I mean as soon as you get your first client, it may not be your first, it may be your first in a while, whatever it may be, you need to ensure you complete their project, whether it be a simple YouTube thumbnail or I don't know, a full Twitch package. You need to make sure that you do complete it to a high standard and the client leaves happy with their finished product. The only exception I have to this would probably be very difficult clients, because we do all receive some of these where no matter what you do create, even if it fits their brief, they're not happy with it, and these types of people as a designer, as I said, I hate personally, because you can just never please them. But for the majority of the clients, the people that are respectful and actually engaging during the process of you creating their work, you need to complete that work to the best of your ability. What this does is firstly make them want to come back to you in the future if they need any more work. I can't explain how many clients have returned to me because of this. After saying that they were happy with their work originally, they come back a few months later saying they need an updated revamp, for example, or I don't know, even just the next week for another thumbnail. You need to remember as a designer that it is important to have repeated customers, because at those times where you do have very minimal amounts of clients, they will still be there basically. And finally, the second reason why this tip is so good is because it will also go ahead and bring in new clients. As I mentioned earlier in the video, a personal example that I can use for this is the YouTuber JMX. I was doing a lot of work for Joel at the time that was thumbnail based, and from this, Joel actually introduced me to a lot of his friends. So an example would be the YouTuber Chip, and from there I was able to of course do work for more people. A lot of you may sometimes actually want to rush client work because you believe once you finish that piece you will be able to get another client, finish that. You may have a long list of clients and you want to just finish them so you can get more and more. However, this really isn't the agenda you want to follow, because it will not benefit you and your business. Sometimes something as little as perfecting your client work can actually really go a long way in helping you receive more clients as a graphic designer. Anyways guys, that is it for the video. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, then make sure to leave a like, that would be much appreciated. As well as that, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, then please consider subscribing to the channel with post notifications on. As you know, we're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, so make sure to subscribe if you aren't new. As well as this, I would like to thank everybody for the current support on the channel. It really doesn't go unnoticed. I do try and upload as regularly as possible, but of course I have other things to balance. So I have my other channel now, I also have school, and I also have client work, so it does get really hard sometimes to juggle all of those things at once, but I am trying my very best. So just take into consideration that if sometimes my videos do slack, then that is because of course something like school has taken over a little bit more. Although once I leave school I will be working, I will also have a lot more free time on my hands hopefully, so I will be able to make a lot more videos. As well as this, if you are looking to improve any of your graphic design skills, then make sure to check out my design store. I have a load of packs on there that will help you. And finally guys, if you didn't know already, I do have a personal channel where I post of course more personality based videos, so if you are interested in that side of me, then make sure you go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. And yes guys, that's it for the video. As I said, hopefully you did enjoy. This has been Visual or James, and I'm out. Peace. of that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the 3 tips I have noted down on how to actually gain more clients. With all of that being said, let's get started with the 3 tips I have for you designers on. With all of that being said, let's get started with the 3 tips I have.